This is a Big Brother 27 live feed update. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Subscribe, most importantly. Get me to 1,000 subs. All right, now we have the results of the Veto solo competition from Kelly's Power. And as you probably know by now, Kelly won her veto. I was kind of, sort of, semi thinking maybe Kelly would lose it, but then I remembered Big Brother doesn't like it when their twist fail. So I'm not completely shocked that she won it. And it's probably another give me comp because, again, they don't want their twist to fail. But as a result, Amy and Will have been put on the block, and Will is fired up. I just recently saw him talking to Mickey, fired up, cursing up a storm. And yeah, it was funny to see him fired up like that. But as it stands now, the only scenario I could see Will being in trouble is if he's up against. No, matter of fact, now that I think about it, I don't really think there's a scenario where Will is in trouble. Because if Adrian's on the block, I think Will will stay. And if he's up against Amy, I think Will will stay as well. Because at first I was, wondering, would Mickey, vote to keep Amy this time again? And, at least during her conversation with Will, she made it pretty sure that she was about keeping it. And matter of fact, she included Morgan, saying that her and Morgan agreed that they would vote to evict Amy. And so, at least when it comes to Will, she's sticking to her colored people must be on the jury. KEANU is a different story. She still kind of rats him out. But for a fact, Will is black. And Ashley's black presenting. So those seem to be the two people she's willing to stick to, even though she's not in any official alliances with them. And I can't remember the last time somebody had to put up 5 people like this. Maybe Cody Nixon during 19. We also had a celebration between KEANU, Riley, and Vince, because Kelly won her power. And it seems like KEANU is set to target Morgan, Ashley, and Rachel because he's made some sort of agreement with Jimmy that he won't come after him, even though Jimmy put him on the block with the purposes of getting him evicted. So makes no sense, but that's what you get with these current seasons. Now, remember, Will does have the Bond Alliance. Now, him and Adrian are a part of that alliance. So, Adrian, again, I think he would be the sacrificial lamb in that situation. Because not only would, I feel like most of the Bond will still side with Will, especially like Ava, because Ava likes Will. And, Mickey and Morgan would convince their girls to keep Will in that scenario because Rachel wants to keep Will in that scenario, and Rachel wants Adrian gone. So yeah, I mean, at least we got something interesting out of this week with a Rachel ally winning HOH. His noms, his HOH reign has been a mess, and can't forget that Mickey still has that power to hijack somebody's HOH. Mickey should have kept it to herself because that's the type of power you only use when you're at risk, not when somebody else is at risk. So I think even if Morgan gets nominated, it'll be interesting to see how much Morgan tries to pressure her to use it because Mickey told her about it. Now, if Morgan's on the block, against like a Rachel or Ashley, Morgan should be safe because there are a lot of people that want Ashley out of the house. You would think Rachel's sitting there following Niles. People want her out of the house, but that is a high risk move because not only do you have these idiot house guests that want Rachel to make jury, but you have production ultimately on her side. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But, Kelly coming clutch again. But again, the comps that they've been giving them outside of the first HOH, they're really just been give me comps. There's no sign that anyone has actually earned the comps won so far.